Marcus Chen had survived 3 weeks in a failing life pod, 2 days of stumbling through purple forests, and approximately 6 hours of trying to explain human biology to confused alien customs officers. All he wanted now was a bed. Any bed, he wasn't picky. "I'm sorry, but what do you mean there are no available quarters?" Marcus asked, rubbing his temples. The Valonian administrator, a willowy being with iridescent skin that shifted between blue and silver, tilted her head in that peculiar way that Marcus had learned meant confusion. "Available? But Mr. Chen, you are the most available person on the entire colony. That is precisely the problem." Marcus blinked. "I think we're having a translation issue." "No translation issue," she assured him, her 3-fingered hand typing rapidly on a holographic display. "You are human. Male human, the only one within 15 parsecs. The quarters allocation lottery has received 4,732 applications for the privilege of hosting you." The exhaustion that had been clouding Marcus's brain suddenly cleared. "I'm sorry, what?" 3 hours later, Marcus found himself sitting in what the Valonians called a community integration chamber, but what looked suspiciously like a game show set. Around him sat representatives from various species, all female, all looking at him with expressions ranging from curious to calculating. "Let me get this straight," Marcus said slowly. "The colony has a gender imbalance problem." "Severe imbalance," confirmed Zix, a Valonian sociologist with deep purple skin. "Most species that settled here are predominantly female, 78% female to be precise, and human males are of considerable interest. A Kithran girl, bipedal feline features, golden fur, leaned forward eagerly. "We've studied your species' entertainment databases. Human males are considered universally appealing across galactic beauty standards. The bilateral symmetry, the endurance physiology, the ability to lift heavy objects," interrupted a crystalline Silath, her body chiming softly as she moved. "Very practical. The emotional availability," sighed a floating Aronian, her gaseous form shimmer with hope. Marcus held up his hands. "Okay, everybody stop. I'm not a prize to be won. I'm just a cargo hauler whose ship had a very bad day. I just want to sleep." "But where you sleep is the question," Zix said diplomatically. "We must handle this fairly." Hence the integration interviews. What followed was the strangest series of conversations Marcus had ever experienced. The Valonian science team promised him his own laboratory and unlimited research funding, though Marcus was a pilot, not a scientist. The Kithran Cultural Center offered to teach him 17 forms of martial arts and prepare elaborate meals, which sounded nice, actually. The Silath Engineering Collective wanted to show him their city made entirely of singing crystal. The Aronians promised philosophical discussions and floating gardens. Each group had clearly put enormous effort into their presentations. Charts, graphs. One group even had a holographic simulation of their proposed living arrangements. "This is insane," Marcus muttered during a break. "I'm not qualified to choose an entire neighborhood based on a housing pitch." "But you must choose," Zix insisted gently. "Or the lottery continues and, well, it's becoming quite competitive." There was an incident with the Kithran sports team and the Valonian Academic Council. No one was seriously injured, but the debate went on for 6 hours. Marcus looked out the window at the sprawling alien city. Purple sky, 3 moons, architecture that defied human physics. He was so far from home, so tired, so overwhelmed, and yet these beings had welcomed him. They'd given him medical care, taught him their languages through neural link, fed him even if the food was weird, and treated him not as a curiosity but as a person. An exhausted, confused person they all desperately wanted to impress. It was absurd. It was overwhelming. It was also kind of touching. "I have a counter-proposal," Marcus announced when the groups reconvened. The room fell silent, multiple species of eyes fixed on him with intense focus. "I don't want to choose one group. That seems unfair. So here's what I'm thinking. I'll rotate, 1 week with different groups. I'll work with the Valonian scientists, helping with human perspective on research. I'll train with the Kithran martial artists. I could use the exercise. I'll learn engineering from the Silath and philosophy from the Aronians, and anyone else who wants to participate." He stood up, surprising himself with his own conviction. "You've all made this place welcoming. You've studied human culture, learned about Earth, tried to understand me. The least I can do is try to understand all of you. Maybe that's what this colony needs, not competition over one tired human, but cooperation, cultural exchange, community. Zix's skin rippled through an entire rainbow. That's actually brilliant. A rotating cultural ambassador program. With sleeping accommodations, Marcus emphasized. Comfortable ones. I'm still really tired. The Kithrin representative's ears perked up. We have the softest sleep nest in the colony. Our crystalline beds harmonize with brainwaves to ensure optimal rest, countered the Silath. We can literally become a bed, offered the Aronian. Marcus laughed, the first genuine laugh since his ship had malfunctioned 3 weeks ago. See, this is going to work out fine. 6 months later, Marcus Chen had become something unexpected. Not a prize, not a commodity, but a bridge. He learned 17 languages, taught classes on human history and culture, helped design hybrid human-alien living spaces, and yes, finally got plenty of sleep. The colony's imbalance problem remained, but it had transformed into something else. A motivation for different species to work together, to learn from each other, to build something new. And Marcus? He still wasn't sure how he'd ended up as the galaxy's most improbable diplomat. But as he looked around at the community that had emerged, Valonians collaborating with Kithrins, Silaths composing music with Aronians, all species mixing and learning, he thought maybe his ship malfunction had been the universe's strange way of putting him exactly where he needed to be. He still just wanted a place to sleep, though. Fortunately, now he had 4,732 options. Endy.